Hi Reed Spring students. This is Mrs. Weydert and I am deciding to make bread today. So I thought I would share my recipe with you since a lot of you have asked me about it. So it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward, but it does take a couple hours. So let's get started. Well, here are the ingredients. I have them all laid out. You can see from the recipe card, there is 1 cup of hot water, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of oil, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and 3 cups of flour. So I got all those things ready to just go ahead and put into my bread maker. So there's my bread maker, and it's pretty much set to go because I make this bread usually once a week. So the flour is in there along with the salt and the oil, and I'm going to make a little hole in the center of the flour where I will put the yeast. So the yeast will go in that little well in the center, and then I put the sugar kind of around it, and sugar is a food source for yeast, so that's a good thing to have those things close together. So I'm going to close the lid, and I'm going to make sure that it is set for setting 1, which is basic bread, and medium crust, so it's not going to be real dark, and it's not going to be too light. And it is actually not a 2-pound loaf, it's a 1.5 pound loaf. So we're set to go. I'm going to press start, and it is going to mix and do all the work for me. So that took us just a couple of minutes to get started. You can see the clock there says 2:16. So we'll check back in a little while and see how it's going, and I'll give you the update. It has been half an hour or just about since we started the bread. Let's look at it and see what it's doing. Can't see much through the window. So there it is. It's resting, it's all mixed up, but it has to rest a bit. So we'll close the lid and check on it again in another hour or so. Hello, it's been about an hour. Our time says it is 3:35. So I figure we should check on the progress of the bread. It looks like it's in the process of rising, so I will check back in another hour. Well, it is 4:40 and the bread is baking, so it should be done in 28 minutes. The bread timer just went off, so let's take a look. And it's done. Once we take it out of the pan, we'll have a nice loaf of. So if you've got a few hours to kill and a bread maker, you can be making homemade bread too. It doesn't take long, just a couple hours. Enjoy.